Hello everyone, welcome to the Jargus Ranger Review. This time we'll be looking at the 20th episode of Power Rangers Ninja Steel, Helping Hand. And oh my, was this a pretty good one. First of all, we introduce our new monster called Force Sphere, who can create impenetrable force fields. And when it tested out with the Kudabots, it reflected off the barrier and hit Cosmo right in the ass. And he gets mad at his 10,000 Space Boyan suit, however much that cost in dollars, was damaged, so he tried to hit the field, but it just knocked him on the floor out cold. That really amused me. But now, back on Earth, Sarah is taking Preston on her hoverboard again, but this time it stops running because the battery runs out. And then Preston gives her the idea, hey, you don't have an extra credit project for shop class, why not use that? Sarah's gonna be a great engineer one day, I swear. And she's like, yeah. So she spends up all night working on it, and still can't get it to work. And her mother, who's a bit of an inventor herself, creates a snack machine with some kinks in it. Because if you say juice or toast, it automatically pushes up to her face. Problem is, those are common terms used in other ways too. Oh yeah, this battery's toast. It don't get enough juice. So of course it smashes her face and gets it all dirty. And she tells her mother she don't need help. And she leaves for school without it. Of course her mother looks at it and starts messing with it because she wants to help her daughter succeed. But now, in class, Victor and Monty have their own extra credit project. Which is some big contraption, but it's basically a combination of metal detector and super magnet, which is pretty interesting. Of course, you know Victor wasn't the brains behind it, Monty is, because Monty's the brains behind everything, except for Victor's arrogance. And it works. It actually works. A little too well, because it attracts a whole bunch of crap as well, aside from the hubcap they wanted for their demonstration. And then Sarah's mom comes in. And she tries to show off that she fixed her project. Meanwhile, she fixed the battery for her because she supercharged it to make it 10 times more powerful. She's like, no, don't do that. So when she tries to demonstrate it, the board just flies all over the place and crashes into things. And the mom's like, I was just trying to help. And it's like, no, I don't need your help. You're always interfering and getting in the middle of things. Go home. Like, she really snapped at the woman, so she runs off. Then when they transition, in the middle of it, you see Mick picking up the supercharger. He's looking rather curiously at it. But we don't have too much time to dwell on it, because they detect buzz cams and boom, they fight the monster. And they can't touch him at all. I mean, the first few hits, he just tanks them. It doesn't really affect him. He says, I can take anything you throw at me. So Brody, and I like Brody when he goes into battle and needs to charge. He's very commanding and very heroic-like. In other words, he's what Troy in Megaforce should have been. I'm just throwing that out there, okay? Anyway, he uses Lion Fire armor, and he says you can take anything you throw at him, so he throws Levi and Preston at him. He picks them by the belts and spins them and tosses them. But that's when the barrier comes up and it repels them. They can't touch them. And so when he blasts them, the whole team trying to destroy them, they disappear in a puff of smoke. Odious calls them a failure for doing that, but really they're just around the corner listening in. He says, well, when you gigantify me, I can make a giant barrier so large they can't do anything, and I can destroy them and attack them through it. So now they know the plan for their next visit, and they have to figure out something with Mick's help. And while there, they discover something bad. They have one piece of ninja steel left, and they needed to have something to combine the Megazords to overcome his super gigantified power. And Mick is scanning the cosmos for new ninja steel. But that also means they can't make any more ninja stars, which means he's gonna have to start melting them down to make new ones. And the Rangers don't like the sound of that. And so when they make this star to throw into the prism, it bounces off. It don't go. It don't have enough power. And Sarah's grilling Redbot about it, asking, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you make it right? And whatever. And he says, and then Redbot insists that he's did it all right the whole time. and gets a little quippy with her because, you know, that would get annoying, something in your face about something you worked your ass off on. Then Sarah says, well, I'm just trying to hit. Oh, then she realizes she was being just like her mother. And now she understood how well-meaning she was and how much she cared. But there's no family reunion yet. They figure out that her mother's supercharger just made the battery too powerful, was why it failed. So they use it on the Ninja Star to give it enough energy to head into the prism. That's well and nice and all, but I don't like that theory. Mainly because a battery just gives as much power as it needs. If you're taking more power out of it, then that's something with how your device is designed to draw the power. It shouldn't be using up your entire battery's resources like that. Unless I'm wrong, that's how I understand things with the power supplies, so someone in the comments want to correct me, go right ahead. Anyway, they try to distract him with the Megazords. It don't work very well. But fortunately, it don't take long for that final star to be finished. And they combine their Megazords. The Bull Rider Megazord, the Fire Lion Megazord, and of course, the Ninja Steel Megazord. And what happens is, the Lion Megazord opens up, and then the Bull Rider Megazord breaks apart and attaches to the end like armaments, basically. And then the Ninja Steel Megazord just jumps inside and sits in it like the throne. Just like, you know, the regular Ninja Steel Megazord does with its Center Zord. And that creates the Ultra Zord. It looks pretty neat, and overall how it came out looking sort of reminds me of the Zeo Megazord. Not the Zeo Megazord, but the Zeo Ultra Zord. But this is the Ninja Steel Ultra Zord. And it's pretty good because its attacks, just a few of them, just destroy the barrier. So Force Sphere can't do anything now. And to make matters worse, Brody jumps out of the cockpit and he goes and cuts off the cannons that Force Sphere has on by his shoulders. So now he can't do shit. So they decide to use that finishing move where they just fire a bunch of guns and laser blasts all at once at him and it completely destroys him. It is a great flash of color. So Sarah goes home and makes up with her mother. And they decide to work together and help out with their projects. Because now she understands her mother's way of thinking. And then Brody gets a call when he's hanging out from Mick and Redbot. They found an asteroid that's full of ninja steel. But their transmission gets cut off. They said they were going to use the Astro Zord to go get it. And it gets cut off by magnetic interference because Victor and Monty, they had no luck finding anything valuable with their metal detector magnet. So they amp it at full power and just hold it randomly. And what happens is, it goes through into the Ranger base and it causes the Ninja Stars, they actually tear through the wall. That's so powerful. And of course a buzz cam is nearby and catches it happen. And these two idiots don't know what they have. But Galvanax, yes, I got his name right this time. Odious and some Bastion bots catch them. And they take them prisoner because they're the geniuses, so-called, so, that made it. And he makes an announcement to his audience that the season finale is going to come up, and I'm going to take all the power stars. And that's bad for the Rangers because that's their whole arsenal right there. They are in deep shit now. So the next episode is going to be amazing. And this episode is really a lot of fun. Plus we got to see Victor and Monty do stuff that's relevant to an actual plot line instead of just being a throwaway joke that would not impact the episode at all if they were gone. This should be interesting. So yeah, this is a really good episode. I enjoyed every second of it. Even the action was great. I didn't lose interest for a second doing it. So I can't wait to see how things go down next time because it's going to be some serious crap going down. I swear. Plus, Odious hasn't really shown any signs of her traitoriness. I know that's not a real word, but still. Ever since our Aiden plot got resolved. That's too bad. I wanted her to be a little more devious. Maybe she'll be next time. Are you excited for it? I am. Why don't you let me know? And I'll meet you next time where Galvanax puts his plan into action. Until then, thanks for watching, and let the power protect you.